I was asked to do a little bit more video on the tariff situation, how it just kind of escalating to ridiculous things. Just a bunch of guys talking hot air that hot air then goes ahead and makes an impact on how we feel about the market. So I actually directly said I didn't want to do more videos on tariffs because everyone else does. And I guess here's proof I lied to you guys again. Let's talk a little bit on at least my take on it without having any charts or anything in front of me. Technology is still screwing me over, guys. I'll be back to that. Hopefully, whatever I can record after this weekend. But whatever I'm going to say right now, realize is just based off of what I know right now. Because a little bit of information, one tweet from Trump changes everything. So by the time this is released, everything I might say about tariffs, other than my opinion on it, might be completely different. Right? So the reason why is that they just keep going back and forth. Right? We'll have one day of, okay, we're going to do 80% tariffs. All right, we're going to counteract with 110%. And then we're going to counteract with 185%. And in our reality, I have no idea if this is going to turn into, well, let's just all drop all tariffs, or if by the time this is released, they say something ridiculous, like we're going to increase it to 300%. Whatever. I don't know. Right? But there's a lot of rumors amongst. And yesterday, there was a tweet by Donald Trump pretty much saying that he's going to make a deal with China. I thought maybe, hey, when I saw it, it was a tweet about 2 hours ago. Like, let me go ahead and see if anything in the market's changed, because news like that could change markets. It didn't look like it did diddly squat, which told me a couple things. Either one, it was a little late in the general stock market, just in terms of the hour of the day, to make a difference there. But with crypto, it didn't really make a big difference. So my guess is nobody actually believes it yet. Or it's just not enough, it's not large enough news to make an impact. That's also possible. Whereas like, we're going to make a deal with China, but there was nothing about when, what type of deal. It really could have just been him trying to bring some opium out into the markets. Right now I'm recording this at about 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so a lot of people over here on my side of the world are still asleep. We'll see what happens in the next couple of hours by the time this posts. Maybe by then there'll be a little bit more news, or people will be a little bit more optimistic about it. But to me, it really didn't tell me too much other than, it really didn't tell me too much, I guess. Right? Hoping to see or hear a little bit more information, but we do need bigger news about the tariff situation for it to turn into real price change. Like if they announce that there has been a deal, or maybe even they just change the freaking lingo and say there's been a settlement about tariffs. It's amazing how you just change the lingo a little bit with something that's a little bit stronger connotated. And it was like, there was a settlement. We have no idea what the hell that means, but it sounds better, doesn't it? So maybe if they say there was a settlement between the US and UE, okay, that could be a big deal. Or just saying that they are having a meeting, pick a day and time with China. That might be a little bit better, because then we're actually convinced something's happening. So, yeah, I haven't been keeping up to date with you guys on the whole tariff situation because I don't feel like the day-to-day actually matters. I'm waiting to hear how it's going to go. I've been in the house that this is not going to turn into a recession. I really don't think it is. The main reason being, I guess a couple main reasons of, one, everyone thinks it's going to go into a recession, and most of the time, the herd is wrong, right? So if the herd is thinking that we're going to a recession, we're not going to go into a recession. Secondarily, this is the most obvious setup for a recession that is controllable, and I just can't imagine that all the powers that be will allow it, right? I mean, for a recession to happen right now based off of tariffs, which is really what the narrative is, the two largest economic powers are the ones that are control over it, right? US and China. So they literally have control over what direction the market goes. And I can't imagine that the two deepest pockets are going to say, screw us all, including them, and turn into a recession. Especially when you know that both parties and parties they're affiliated with are buying a crap ton of crypto and gold between US and China, respectively. So that's why I keep thinking it's a decent buy time. I've not been buying aggressively. I have been buying, and I've got a couple of lower ball buy limit set, just in case things do go down lower. I can get in stuff at a great price. I have a little bit of USDC just sitting there for me. And we're just going to kind of see how it goes. I still think there's going to be a bull run. I'm still hoping it's going to have at least the first big leg of it, somewhere between, keep saying, second half of April, so we're in here now, until the end of July. Mostly because I think if it doesn't happen by the end of July, I do think the standard red summer is going to come in and bleed, or at least keep it lateralized. I could be 100% wrong, but that's still what I'm going by and expecting. That's my plan, and if the plan changes, then it changes. And for those of you who's listened to me, I already have a backup plan. I think you guys should too. No matter what you believe, right? If you think that the bull run is over, I think you should have a backup plan in case you find out that you're wrong. Or if you think that it's going to happen in Q4 or Q1 next year, have a backup plan in case you think you're wrong. What are you going to do if it comes early? What are you going to do if it comes late, right? I can rehash my thoughts with you guys at another time. I've gotten all written down and discussed a little bit. But I do think it's important to have a primary plan, and then with some of these things, it is expected to have unexpected things to happen. So have a plan, know what you're going to do, know how you're going to sidestep, so that way you don't panic. Because when we don't have a plan, we panic. And that's usually when we do stupid shit, right? When we're not thinking clearly. Aside from tariffs getting settled, which they're in communication to settle almost every single round of tariffs, whether everything with China was true or rumor. The other big thing we're waiting for is rate cuts, right? And it has increased the percentage. The powers that be that estimate what's the odds of there being a rate cut has increased it closer to 60% for the May Fed meeting. I'm hoping so. I'm not fully convinced, because Jerome Powell is just having a penis-sized contest with Trump. I mean, Trump is just flipping it from one side, trying to compare it to China, flopping it over, comparing it to Jerome Powell. God, his wing must be exhausted with all of this. But I don't know what's going to go. They're definitely butting heads. Jerome's trying to save face, make it seem like he has power and control, and Trump is doing everything he can to force the feds into doing a rate cut. I don't know. I know they're saying 60%. My mind is still 50-50. I don't actually know. What I do think, because I don't know any of this, right? All opinion and speculation, is if they have a rate cut in May, it's probably going to be 25 basis points. If they decide not to, and then the next meeting is, I keep forgetting if it's June or July. I'm going to go with July. Maybe it's June. One of the J's. It'll happen in a J month. If we do not have a rate cut in May, I am very confident that we'll have one in the J month. And there's a decent chance that it might end up being a 50 basis point cut if we get nothing in May. Reason being is they might just have to, right? They might just be forced to. Trump is doing everything he can to squash the dollar, make it look like we're doing really poor economically, because, I mean, the markets are looking bad. Global M2 keeps coming up. So global liquidity, global money ready to spend is still increasing. Everyone's just fearful as shit, so it's not going to the market. So the economy is actually doing pretty well. Everyone's just worried that it's not going to too much longer. So if we don't have a rate cut, I just kind of expect Trump's going to do his standard brash New York thing and try to make things even worse, which would then escalate the rate cut conversation in the J month to be 50 basis points. Granted, again, that's my thoughts, my opinions. Don't hold too strongly to that. And I honestly don't know what would be better for the markets. If we have a cut in May and not July, June, or if we skip May and have a standard 25 or we'll call it a double 50 basis point one a month or two later. I got no idea. Powell at the beginning of this year or the end of last year said that he was expecting 2 rate cuts. I can't imagine they're going to do 2 back-to-back May and J month. They might. I think we would need something either really positive in the Fed's eye, like inflation continues to drop faster than they expect it to. Like if we get under 2%, that'd be a big deal. That could be a big deal. Or Trump just says, screw this, I'm going to do everything I can to annihilate any confidence in the market, and then maybe that'll make it too. But I'll be curious about it. I still got money on standby. I'm doing small buys. I'm targeting more of my large caps. Not doing too much with the small caps because they tend to come after the large caps in terms of movement anyway and larger swings. So since I am uncertain of what's happening, or low confidence because we're always uncertain, I'm just putting a little bit in the large caps but making sure I've got some on the side for when I feel like there's time to make a bigger move. But I'm curious, what are you guys doing? Are you making moves? Are they positive? Are they negative? Meaning, are we buying? Are we selling? Are we trading? Are we hodling? Are we staking? Are we farming? What are we doing, guys? And I'm just curious. Let's have conversations. Feel free to put things in my post section. Start conversations going on a little bit. I love the interaction with you guys. And I should be getting my new camera coming in. I think it's supposed to arrive tomorrow, so I can get back to recording on the computer and everything a little bit better. Probably won't have a video like that for Monday. I will try to get a video out for Monday, but we'll call it a double holiday coming up this weekend, and I'm not so sure I'm going to find the time for it. But expect a couple more videos next week. I will have a couple more on reviews and my price predictions. I got to redo the Arrow one that I wasn't able to post, but that one will be sometime early next week, and I got a couple others I'm finalizing researching and we'll get out to you guys. But continue talking to me. I appreciate you all. If you're still here, please do press the like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you all again soon. Peace.